Take a step back in time.
We have a number of great pieces that tie back to Iowa State University.
As you walk through the doors of 1015 Morrill Hall.
So we've had people working on this for over a year.
The home of the Textiles and Clothing Museum's Treasures exhibit.
And we just really wanted this exhibit to show people some of the treasures and some of the objects that we have for display.
And those treasures and objects include a little something for everyone.
I think anyone, if you have an interest in the state of Iowa, Iowa State University history, anyone from a child to a senior citizen would be really interested in seeing some of the material culture from different people that have contributed to our great state.
The 500-square-foot museum is lined with history.
A letter jacket that was worn by 1948 Earl Anderson when he was part of the Yell Jacks. Basically a pep rally team. We also have wedding dresses from the 1890s to the present day, as well as just a number of textiles and clothing from places like Africa, Afghanistan. It's really a wonderful exhibit.
From wall to wall.
We have the 1915 dress worn by Carrie Chapman Catt. We have a series of dresses. One was made by the teacher and then two by students in the 1926 apparel program. So it's pretty neat that you can see connections to both famous people and then lesser known Iowans and Iowa State alumni.
Every piece of clothing has a story. Many are stories that date back hundreds of years.
One of the most interesting things, and I hope that that's something that other people would appreciate, is the handwork that goes into so many of these objects, especially the ethnographic examples that we have, whether it's a dye process or hand sewing or embroidery. So, it's those kind of details. It's part of our history, and lots of times people will leave an exhibit like this and start to go through their closets or go to their grandma's house and just, starting that conversation about, wow, did you really wear something like this? I'd say, can you imagine your grandmother wearing that? And they'd be like, oh my gosh, they didn't think about that.
But an exhibit like this doesn't come without some extra efforts.
Oh, it takes a lot of work to make sure that the items are stored properly, that we do the research into each piece so we can truly understand what it means for the society that produced them and the people that consume these goods.
It's always really satisfying to actually get to the point where we get to open the exhibit. A lot of hard hours go into it.
The actual exhibit installation process takes a couple of weeks.
But just as much work goes into a catalog the students and professors produce.
And it features full-color images of all of the objects that are in this particular exhibit, as well as some that were too fragile for us actually to exhibit.
This 70-page catalog provided a wide variety of tasks for the students.
They get to see a different side of museum work that you usually don't. Publication, writing, even photo editing that you're usually not exposed to as an undergraduate or graduate student.
And they hope you'll take the time to stop by the museum and check out the exhibit for yourself.
Well, we think material culture is so important. You really get to see the meaning of the clothing, why people chose to wear certain things.